Oh my God.
What is up, everybody? How's it going?
Yeah, it's going good. Okay, so we debated. Your webcam was freaking out earlier.
Yeah, but it's fine now. Look at it.
Yeah, but it was so cool. It was like a glitch from a horror movie. It was incredible.
It looked How does it look now?
It's good. It's good.
How do I look, chat? I look okay?
You look a little worn out today.
A little worn. Okay, wait a minute. I can fix it. How about?
I didn't want to say anything, but I was like,
how about now? Is it better?
Depending. That's maybe as bad as the horror movie thing that was going on earlier.
Which one do you want me to leave on for the entire stream?
Wow.
How about this one? It's me.
I see no change. Okay.
Hey, man.
Yeah. So, Mark, you missed nothing. I guess.
Jeez.
Okay, so listen. So, welcome to Burke Learns Blazor. Today it's kind of Burke and Jon Learn Blazor. We're doing edit forms.
Yeah.
This was a new thing for both of us, and honestly, like I was out all last week. I did a keynote. Whoa, it's doing the glitch. It's kind of rad though.
No, it's not. Is it?
It's not. Okay. So I don't know.
Oh, it is.
It is. Maybe that's okay. It's kind of, see, you tempted fate by doing the baby face thing. I don't know. Yeah. So
it's
so
like
this
it
morning,
just crashed.
both of us,
no, wait, it's back. Look, it's fine.
Yeah.
What a disaster. All right, keep talking, John. Keep talking. I'm gonna fix this.
Rad. Okay. Yeah. So let me see. We both separately worked on it. We got things going. Yeah, it does look Jacob's Ladder. That is definitely one of the things, one of the horror movies. Yeah, pretty amazing.
Man, that's a freaking terrifying movie, man.
Yeah, it is. It is. Okay, we are working on updating.
Worst comes to worst.
Here, I'm going to share my screen because I can do that while you're doing whatever it is you're doing over there. We are working on updating a website. We are rewriting a 5-year-old website written in Vue, static files, Azure Front Door, a bunch of stuff. We are writing it. So this is the general thing. This is the live site. You can put in something like, well, let's go with F#conf. Why not? And then, so it does things. It goes and looks up the stuff. You can also log in with Twitter. We started rewriting it because Twitter auth went down, and we kind of are not sure what the heck they're doing over there at Twitter land. So, or now X, I guess. So, who knows what's happening? And then we're like, we should update the site. We should get it running on all the new stuff. And just to spice it up a bit, we're rewriting it using Blazor. This is the huge disclaimer. Actually, let me make a banner. Disclaimer.
We have no idea what we're doing.
So this is not a great camera, but it is better than horror movie Burke for an hour and a half.
Okay. All right. So, so here's the huge disclaimer time, which is we don't know what we're doing. This is unscripted. We're figuring it out. We're writing live code. It may work. It may not. Some last time out, we ended with like, oh. So, but then we separately worked on rewriting some of the Blazor stuff to use an edit form, which we think is going to simplify validation and some other stuff.
That is correct.
So I think we both learned quite a bit, and I think we're going to go through that live today.
Yes.
Right.
I just need to know. Just trying to get Visual Studio Code up. I know we look unprepared. We're actually prepared this week, which is like
we separately prepared. I'll confess, I was like, Burke, I don't know, man. We should maybe cancel because this morning the code was not working. I finally got it working. I'm like, success. I went to commit it, and you had already committed yours. So.
All right, so I'm gonna just back all the way out to main, and let's do a thing.
All the way back to main. We did actually a bunch of stuff. That loses all the stuff we did last week, which is maybe okay.
Yeah, but what did we do last week? I thought we were just trying to get validation working.
We did, yeah, I don't know.
All right, well, then we'll do this. We'll do this. We'll just back out.
I can go with, oh gosh, we did do a chunk of stuff.
I got it. Form editing, ouch. Yeah, this was the completely borked. So let me just open the changes here. I'm using the timeline in Visual Studio Code to just go back to a save point, which you can do. Maybe I should share my screen while I do this.
You should do that. That would be cool. Yeah. Or you should just never share your screen and just kind of narrate it the whole time.
Right. So
now I'm creating a function.
All right. Share screen. Don't show these tips again. All right. Window, entire screen. I've only got one screen. And people, I'm on Windows today.
What is happening?
Come on. Let's get out of this so we don't have StreamYard inception.
How come you're on the Windows?
Can I get focus?
How
do I turn on focus mode? There we go.
There you go.
Yeah, so it's a good question. Why I'm on Windows? I have a computer that I built during the lockdown because because like there was nothing else to do, and so I was like, I haven't built a computer in a while. So I built one before parts got super expensive. Right? Back when everything was still, you get a graphics card for like $600.
Yeah.
So anyway. So I built it and I've had it, but I haven't been using it because I'm usually on a Mac. And so I am giving it its due. And there are certain things that I like and there are certain things that I don't like. I don't like the horror movie effect.
Yeah, that was a little creepy.
I do like the UI is fun.
There's some nice things in the UI. There's a few things where it's like, why did you change that? It kind of worked.
Yeah, I guess I like it. I like the colors. It does
nice, feel fresh, kind of, right?
It kind of makes me want It makes me want an Android phone, and because the iPhone is just totally agnostic that the computer even exists and doesn't want to work with it.
Oh yeah, do you have a phone link set up on your?
I don't, because for iPhone it's the whole iMessage thing is what just breaks your whole world.
I have sad stories about iMessage. I signed on to iMessage on an iPad, and then all my friends that had iPhones would try and text me, and I wouldn't get their text messages because they were going into this iPad that I didn't even have turned on. And I had a friend, college friend, visiting from out of town. Hadn't seen him in a long time. He kept on like writing, hey, let's get together. Hey, I'm here for one more day. Hey.
Yeah, you didn't see it.
Finally, one day I turned on my iPad and I'm like, oh, thanks, iMessage. You're rad.
All right, John, do a loop document because we're collecting feedback now. And this error pops up constantly. we need to write down this for the
Okay.
team.
Text. I don't know that thing.
And then
What
yeah,
is
this
sounds
is
like.
this is what we want. So, all right, let's
Hey,
run.
Small interjection. Can you click the hide link? Yes. Okay.
Let's run this. See, I mean, it's just like every time you do anything in VS Code, to the point where I have to snooze notifications,
Weird.
which is unfortunate.
Okay.
Let's
I think
do.
that might be from an extension or something because I don't get that. Oh.
What is this? This is right. So let's do. It's in a folder called Blazor SW Inception. So .NET watch here, and then on the API func start. And I think we fixed it to where, oh, whoops. Hey, how come in PowerShell chat, how come I can't just do this? Like, if you have CSH, you don't have to type this, right? You can just do like this.
Interesting.
Or you can just type this and it just will go. Like, how do I do that in PowerShell? Okay, func start.
Yeah, I'm happy I finally fixed that thing. I'm not happy. There's some warnings we got to fix.
Oh, I have VS Code pets in this machine.
That is such a rad thing.
Let's add a clippy.
So I had VS Code open. I did a keynote at VS Live last week. My kids got to watch, which was cool. And the thing they were saying was like, hey, you got a pets thing on your VS Code. Why didn't you show the pets off? I'm like,
pets, pets is one of those extensions that everybody loves.
Yeah.
Here's another one.
Can you throw the ball to them, though? You got to throw.
What is this? Throw a ball.
Throw a ball.
I mean, oh.
Yeah.
You should be able to drag them and drop them. You can't. It's really fun to just like add a bunch. What's a mod? Oh, that's the .NET dude, right?
It's the .NET bot. I don't know why he's called mod. That's a little odd.
Is that its name? What's its Tortoro?
Do you know that thing? My Neighbor Totoro?
What the heck is that? No, I don't know. What is that?
Okay. It is a Japanese anime film. It's really interesting. It's kind of wacky.
Is it a turtle?
No. He's like this huge dinosaur kind of. He's this huge creature. I don't know how to describe it. You just got to see it.
Rocky. It's a rock.
It's just a rock. So I don't think it chases the ball.
Okay, we'll just leave all that chaos down there.
And that's all the time we have this week.
Yeah, we'll see you later. All right, so the other thing, John, check this out. So first of all, I wonder if I can move this to a new desktop.
Oh, here's a good question. So there's different ways of doing this. How'd you set your user directory? Because it normally defaults the first characters of first 5 characters. Do you remember that? How you set it up on your
user directory? Hold on, I'm messing around with multiple displays. How do I get the applications from desktop 1 to desktop 2? There's got to be a way.
Yeah. Can you drag it?
It just moves the whole desktop.
You can do window tab on the thing and like window tab left, and usually that moves screens. Honestly, I don't use the multiple desktop enough.
It's so weird. Like, I just want to, can I just drag it? Like, there's got to be a way. There's got to be a way. Chat, how do I get
they're
this
saying
window?
Win tab also, but it didn't.
How do I get this one? I don't know anything about Windows.
So I'm just not used to using those multiple desktops. I don't know anything about it. So to answer KRS's question here, how do you set up? The way I do that is I usually set up with a local account only, and then I log in. If you sign in when you're creating it, you do using your Windows account, your Microsoft account, then it's going to automatically set it. So that's one way.
I'm removing all my icons.
Okay.
Sorry,
Well,
chat. I'm doing
highly
my own thing here.
productive today.
All of this to show you that you can do this. Wait, watch this. Look at this.
Oh, the transparency.
Yeah, that's so cool.
What are you using for that?
That's an extension called Glassit. It's one of those extensions that has no icon, so it looks illegitimate.
Yeah.
but it has a lot of downloads. It works really well.
Okay.
And that only works on Windows. It doesn't work on Mac, so that's +1 for Windows. Okay.
So you've got the API started, you got the client. I think the client had an error though.
No, it didn't. Cannot find root path. Really? Why? What is this?
We do have the question here. Okay, if you're
the field new link is assigned but never used.
That's just a warning though. That's not an error.
I think it's working.
Okay. I thought when the browser popped up, it had a no. Okay, we're good.
Well, no, this is the live site. Let's do localhost 5000. Okay.
Error. Oh, this is now we got to get to work.
Yeah, we have to get to work. So if you remember from last time, we're working on the new link, and just as a refresher,
Oh, yeah.
this is weird. But like, what were we doing last time? We were just off on a tangent. So as a refresher here, there's a lot of things wrong with this that could be fixed because like that's a valid URL, but we're trying to do the validation that says, that doesn't look like a valid URL because this component gets reused here, right? It's basically the same thing. It's the same component and we just want to use it all over the place. So how do we do this in Blazor? Which we had it working with HTML, but then I forget why we decided to.
I think we were having to implement a bunch of stuff, write a bunch of like custom code, and it was also hard to share the thing and hook up events to it and stuff.
Yeah, I think that was right. Yeah. So this is the new link component. And someone had suggested you should just use Blazor Forms, which I didn't know anything about. So I went and educated myself. Who suggested that last time? Somebody from chat did.
Yeah, I think some people did. And I had played with the edit forms a bit too. And I was like, it seems like it adds some things, but we both needed to learn about them.
Yeah. So let's, I got to zoom out. I can't deal with this Zoom. Maybe I'll zoom in.
You could slide the right side of the screen over a bit too.
Oh yeah. Check out that responsive design.
Woo.
Yeah. Be impressed.
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to remove all this. And then, you know what? Also, I want to switch to on the dev kit. Let's go to the dev kit. What up, dev kit? I just want to make sure I'm on the pre-release. I am. Because I want the latest and greatest features. If you haven't know that on extensions, stop bothering me.
What is that? Yeah. Okay. I'll put that on the list.
You can do a lot of extensions have pre-release, like GitHub Copilot, I think, has one. Yeah. You can get pre-release. That just gives you like all the latest and greatest features before it's like running nightly. Okay. So in our edit form here, we are going to, what is all this? Do I have Gitlins installed? Gitlins. Yeah, I'm going to remove that. I'm going to disable that for just a minute. Reload required. Let's do it. Let's do here. So we were trying to do validation and we went to our object and we said, oops, close your eyes. Don't look at that. We said this is URL and it's required, right?
And I think, why is it public string URL? Why don't we just make it a URI?
because I guess
We want to be able to put a string in there.
well, I don't know. See, I want to be able to put google.com in there, and that is actually not a valid URL, but it is a valid URL to human beings. And so I'm afraid if we use the URI class, it's going to force us to do that. What does chat think?
I don't know. We do have
try
some. Yeah. So Windows tab, what's the thing? By the way,
Windows
for
tab?
switching.
Windows tab?
That's the switcher.
Oh, they're right.
And you can drag and drop between them, I guess. Yeah.
All right.
Cool.
URI is another thing. Help me out, Lightbulb. Using system. All
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, we can try it. We're already off script, which we don't have a script.
Okay, so let's go. Let's go here, and we need in our code. We need a code. We need to define a model for our form. Forms have to either be bound to a model or a edit context.
Yeah.
And the edit context just gives you more programmatic control over the form actions, which we don't actually need because we're not really doing anything very hard here.
We're just doing validation and submitting, right?
Right. So we have, so first let's import, let's do using, let's get Blazor app.shared because we're going to pull in this link item as our model. So link, so there's a couple ways to do this. When I was looking at like,
you and I were both in the same doc, right?
yeah, we probably were. It's this one here, I think.
Yeah. So
the example that they give is they have the model here. So we would do link and then I think we can call it model is fine, get set. Yeah. Copilot's helping me out with all that, by the way.
Yeah.
Now here they're initializing the model on initialized, but can't I just do, I don't understand why I can't just do like,
okay, so they're different. One is very explicit, it only happens on initialize, and the other, there's one case with this where it can overwrite the thing. So
I'm going to do it the way they want to, but just like chat, tell me why I can't just do it that way. It seems, is this syntax right here? It's where it's like,
it's a little wacky,
right? What is this, man? Come on. It's like a ternary on steroids.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's do, so we have our model. So we need to set the model on the form. So model equals, it's actually model equals at model, which is weird for me.
Yes.
The at sign should go here. I feel like this is inverted.
Okay, so I also ran into this. My intuition was wrong here, and I'd use the docs. And I think the deal is it is a component. So that at sign, because you're in edit form land, you don't have to do like at. So normally you use at to kind of sort of escape out of HTML into C# land. But once you're already creating this edit form,
it's already in
a Blazor component. Yeah.
You're already in C#.
Mm-hmm.
So like this is wrong. We were trying to do this like this.
And what's awesome is you get crazy errors there. Like if you do the at on valid submit, it's like, I can't set this, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. I think
doesn't recognize. See, it should be able to recognize that I'm trying to create a method here. So it's private void. You pick it up. Nope. On valid submit. And then here, we're just gonna, like, I know there's like an I logger and stuff, but I don't want to use anything with an I in front of it.
Why is that?
Because it's an interface and then I'm confused.
Okay.
Because I mean, we could do it. I don't know what, like, why would I do
You
that?
don't-
Why wouldn't I just, if I'm just testing here, why do I need to log that
honestly,
out?
it doesn't matter here. You just write into the console. The deal with the logger is it can write to a bunch of different things. So say, for instance, you wanted to log to App Insights, or you wanted to log to a database or whatever. If you do all your logging using the iLogger, then in your program CS, you can configure your logger and say, here's my log outputs, or only log in certain things. So
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Okay, so we should just stick with this, right? Because we're not gonna.
That's fine there. Yeah. Hey, a few things in chat. My
Okay.
part, I think, today is mostly watching the chat. Okay. So initialize might be part of a chain of calls where setting new is kind of breaking out of that chain. So I think that's the kind of thing is it's like more explicit, with what it's doing. And then another question here, can code be placed in a separate project, a separate file, to protect the code from being viewed in browsers? So some great things here. Number one, you can put the code in a separate file. And number two, this code is not sent down to the browser. So if you do view source, you're not going to see anything that's in that code. It's code that's compiled, and we can see that when we view source.
Could it be so it's running in WebAssembly? Sorry, I'm just still futzing with my. Can you turn my camera? Get my camera off the screen for a minute.
Yep. Oh, wonderful. So the thing is, when I turn your camera off, you get muted. But whatever. Okay, it's just me. I'll monologue. I think I can turn him to. No, I can't. We'll just see. Yeah, so that's an interesting thing, though. That code, that is a WebAssembly. It's C# code that's going to be compiled to WebAssembly, and it's not going to go down to the browser. However, any binary that you send down to the browser, WebAssembly, like you can still decompile stuff. You can still. So if you have like security critical code, or something that you don't want clients to see or get access to, you really should run that code on a server and put it in an API or something. So yeah, but you definitely can. So Janisco here. Yep. So you would have a partial class with the component, and it's super easy to do. But you would do it to make the code like prettier or to organize it in a nice way. You wouldn't do it it doesn't give any different level of protection for it. So I don't know, Burke. Here, let me see if I can add him back on. It says there.
Okay. There we go. I fixed it.
Did you?
There we go.
Yeah,
look, see how much better that is? I just moved
that is some good stuff. Yeah,
this is supposed to be a 4K webcam, and I'm calling shenanigans.
All right, I've got one of those too, and I don't use it. I actually got one called an Ozbot.
Yes,
or Obsbot. It's pretty nice. It's got yeah.
Okay, so we are doing the on ballot submit, and on ballot submit doesn't currently exist, but it does. So I can't spell submit.
Yeah, another thing is you may need to make it public. I kind of go back and forth. In their doc, it was private, or it was public.
It's private.
No, it was private. Okay, never mind me.
Okay, so then what we want to do next here is start banging away on this input text. We don't need any of this. So I think chat last time was like, you should use HTML5 form validation.
That was me. I was banging on that.
So the problem with this, John, because I was like, there's a reason why we don't use this, but I don't know what it is. And the reason is because it's implemented differently across browsers. So even if you use like a JavaScript framework like Vue, it will tell you not to use HTML5 validation and instead do it with JavaScript. Which I was like, that's great, man. State of the web. Okay.
Well, I don't know. I could see either thing. I do like that. I think a selling point for HTML5 form types is if you're used to, if people use them enough, then you'll like, it'll be familiar to you. Like say you're in Safari and it's got a URL autocompleter or whatever. You're like, oh, this feels.
I mean, it would be not, but it has to work across browsers, or it's like good for nothing.
Yeah.
Okay, so then we're binding, and it's bind value here. I don't know why it has to be bind value.
So yeah, so it's binding to the value of the input element. So that bind dash, you could also say bind and then bind it to another proper HTML property. You're almost always going to do value, right? But and then
Gotcha.
what I was reading too is bind value is very specific. You're saying bind this property, this value to this property. If you do at bind, you can do other things then. But you don't need to. So I think bind value is the main one you're going to use.
Okay, so now puts it all back in the same line. Stop that wrap. So now it's weird. Model this. It was saying makes it saying it's nullable. I assume. Okay.
So that I've heard called the damn it operator, and what that means is, otherwise it's going to warn you that URL could be null. And here you're saying, because down below you said uninitialized and you're setting it. So you're basically saying like, don't warn me that it could be null. I know it's not going to be null.
I gotcha. So then this error message is what displays below the input when it's invalid.
Okay. So one thing here, and I don't know if this matters, but it did autocomplete with a capital V for me also. Bind capital V value. Blazor Mr. McGrew knows his Blazor stuff, so if there's a reason for this, let me know. I was just like, I think I'll do that.
I'm gonna use bind value because
okay.
Well, let's scroll down. They have other examples. Bind value.
Is it capital?
It's capital. I'm just trying to figure out if it's a typo in the docs or it's like something we have to do. Yeah, it's bind value.
Value is a C# name, so it's case sensitive.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
See it? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, bind value. So then now we need to do, so we're doing our validation over in the data annotation. So we need to bring in this data annotation validator, which just like, I guess it just sits here.
Yeah, I think that's going to give you your validation messages and stuff too.
It's such a goofy thing that you have it just sits there. Like it doesn't.
Yeah. You would think it would be more like a property on the edit form or something.
Exactly. And then here we need I think it's validation message. Yes. For yes. Right. And we also want to do.
Now it's giving an error up above. Is that just because of the word wrapping, or do we need it?
Cannot convert system URI because we made the property a URL, a URI. So now what?
Can't convert. So you could do like .url to string or something.
Will that work?
I think so. Maybe.
But it's bound. Can it convert from string back to URL?
I don't know.
So this is one of those places where it's like, I just want I just want the simplest possible.
That's fine. And that's always something.
Yeah.
We can tweak that later too.
Like what you're saying is probably right to use URI, but it's just easier not to.
So this is a case too. There's a new thing that they've added with bind get and bind set. And you can do you can bind the getter and the setter separately. Yeah.
Oh, I gotcha.
So basically you can say, okay, when I'm getting this value out, then convert it to a string. When I'm setting it, I've got a string, map it to a URI.
Do you know how to do that?
Yeah, but I kind of feel like you had it working, like you went through doing this with the string. I kind of feel like it's fine to just do that.
It just
seems... so I'm going to go with this too. I think your gut feel was right. So Blazor Mr. McGrew is saying user input better as a string. So cool.
So then we don't need any of this anymore. And I discovered that you can just add classes directly to these things. So I can do
That is pretty darn cool.
All right.
Nice.
And then we don't need any of this. This is all gone. But there is a way, because we don't. All right, let's just run this and see where it puts us. And
Yeah. I'll
Okay.
swap this over.
Do I want to restart the app? Always.
Yes.
So that's a good sign.
Yeah.
So if I hit enter now, the
What?
URL field is yeah. So here's the other thing that I discovered is that, well, first of all, let's put a little spacing, and this is why I like Bulma, because you can just like.
That's nice.
Yeah, you can. Well, I didn't want to do it there. I wanted to do it on the validation message. It's just a little too squinch there. A little margin. Okay. And then let's put some margin here too then. Okay. First of all, it does two things for us that we were having to do before that we need, which is nice. One of them is when you press enter in that input, it automatically tries to submit the form. So we don't have to handle the key press.
Yeah, it's just a form, right?
Right.
So, yeah.
The second thing that it does is that it automatically adds a class to the input when it's invalid. So if we look at this, it adds this invalid class.
Yeah.
Which is how we get the shaky, because we have in our CSS file, CSS, this one here, we have that class. Now it was called is invalid before, but I just changed it because it doesn't matter. Because I did look into this, you can change the class name that it puts here, but it ain't easy. You got to create like a new C# class, got to inherit some stuff. It's like, why? I'll just change the CSS.
Hey, would you mind on this page, can you just do view source and like bring it up big? Because I had a question while you were changing your camera about what view page source is right above inspect.
Oh, there it is. Okay.
Oh, well. Okay. So this is actually what it sends down when it first loads it. And then the WebAssembly stuff is loaded by that refresher thing. And all.
That's the difference. If you want to view source, so y'all know the difference between chat users, the difference. I can't close this tab. All I can do is refresh. Oh, because it's attached to this page. Close tab. Okay. The difference between view source and this kind of view source is that
that's the rendered source, right?
Right, exactly. And the other one is just whatever you get back from the server that's raw.
Well, can you scroll to the bottom of the source? So I guess the elements, yeah. Expand out the app. Yeah, so none of that stuff in the code block is actually sent down to the client. It's compiled to WebAssembly, and
which would be here. What's with all these? What's with all this? Is that what we did? Is it sending down?
No, it might be. It might be sending like commenting stuff out, but it could also be stuff for like DOM tracking,
like placeholders.
Yeah, you'll notice also too. Look in the header. See how it has that attribute after class header. See that weird B dash whatever. That is where it does the isolated CSS stuff.
Right, so, that's how view works as well. It just attaches all right. Attribute. What's the error? Yeah, this WebSocket. I don't care about that. Okay.
Cool.
Ready to move on?
Yeah.
So we've essentially solved this problem with a lot less code, but it's not solved. So first of all, this is a valid URL. Okay? In my implementation of this application, I'm going to handle the protocol for the user. And we're going to do that by sending it to the API, which is then going to try to read the Open Graph data. And when it does that, it will resolve the protocol and we'll send that back. But we don't want people in here having to do this right here, right? You don't want to have to do this.
What do you think? I think going with the exact way it's built is right. I just want to talk through it. You could also, if they type google.com, you could autocorrect that to https google.com.
So on enter.
Yeah. So they hit enter and it's like.
So on submit, but it's not going to do, it's on invalid submit.
It's not, it doesn't see that as being valid because it's not
right.
a URL. So what I'm saying is you could even like on enter, you could basically update the text to be HTTPS.
But how do you do that? What is the event that would do that?
It would be either on invalid submit or it could be on.
See, here I think is where you need to get into edit context to get more control over the validation flow. But I have a better solution for this.
All right.
Which is, let's go to our, I can't wait for that. Let's go to our link here. So what I did to fix this, John, is instead of right, something like this.
You change. Okay.
I change it with a regular expression.
Because you want to specifically allow, you don't want it to necessarily be a URI. You also are saying it can be something that just ends with .com.
Yeah, but now it's like.
Now it's like.
Yeah, okay. So write this down. This is that WebAssembly error I think. Where,
it's a little tiny.
Yeah. We do not support patching of existing table calls.
Oh, you're in a table? Are they table shaming you?
This is a warning. This is an error. This is a hot reload error. These are WebAssembly errors. See, I think that this is a Blazor problem, not an us problem.
Yeah. Yeah, it does look like hot reload fail.
Yeah, let's do this. Just copy the whole thing. And then we'll do this. We'll just do a gist.
Okay.
Paste it. So this is what I did is a regular expression, and I think we're gonna have to restart this in order for this to come
that
back.
Kind of makes sense. You're changing around the type in the form, and
I get it, but it's like we should tell people or something, right?
It should be a better error message than like
It should say like, "Hey, do you want to reload?" Like it does.
Yeah.
You made a root edit or whatever. All right.
Did it not say that in the output in vscode?
It does not. No, it never did. It was just like, it's all good.
All right.
So let me minimize this. So let's refresh here. That's better. So now, and then all we're doing on submit is, so we know that we had a valid submit, right? And if we do, why does it, it's like opt out, don't show again. Why?
Right. I know. It's like, would you like to subscribe to our newsletter?
And they, no. I don't even know what happened to my tab now.
It's gone.
Get out of
I'm
here.
like bouncing us all over the screen. I don't know if this is distracting. There we go.
Don't show again. Okay. So that's feedback for the Edge team. It's too many freaking notifications. Where's my
Yeah.
gist? Where's my gist?
Oh my gosh. Scratch
Give me a new
notes.
file. Oh, Alex Russell. Alex.
Edge Dev Tools, right?
Edge DevTools. Yes. Thank you. So here then, if we were like foo.
So you want to change that message.
Right. So we actually want the same message, even if it doesn't matter if it's required or empty or invalid. We just want to tell people that doesn't look like a
Please
valid
enter a
URL.
valid URL.
Right.
Yep.
Now, there are two ways to go about doing this. One of them is that we could go into the model here and we could set the error message here. We have to do it twice, but I believe that there is a way that to do it once on the component where you say something
So
like,
why do you have to do it twice? Because generally I recommend to people to put it on a model because then it can also be enforced anywhere you're calling into it, even like from an API or whatever.
because we have to do it for required and regular expression.
Oh. All right.
Or is there a way to do it, chat?
I wonder if there's another attribute you can drop. Maybe not. I don't think so.
No. Yeah. So the one that I think I was looking at, it was like parse.
Parse. That doesn't sound right.
Yeah, it's like a parsing error that you can tie into. Get out of here. Let's go to the timeline. And dang, man.
Validation message.
No, the property is see if I can find it. Make this full screen. What am I doing?
Yeah.
Decrease the
It's
transparency.
getting claustrophobic. Validation summary. Oh yeah, it's probably going to be on the input, that same doc we were looking at earlier.
I believe it's on. Yeah, it has something to do with a parse failure. But I don't remember the name of the property. But there is a way to basically specify the error message on the component.
I don't know, man. I would put it on the attribute, honestly.
All right, we can do that.
Because you can actually give a little bit better of a message there too. Like required could say, please enter a URL, and regular expression is your URL is not, is not valid or something.
Versus
this file, yeah. Yeah.
That should do it. You know, my problem is though, John, it's like I want to do it, and if I can't do it, it makes me mad, right? Like I know you can do it here, so I'll just spend the next 2 hours trying to figure out how. One sec.
I would bet it's a property on validation message. That's where I would put it.
My wife is calling. I am responding.
All right.
All right. So to the cloud.
Oh, there's a validation message store. That's
Y'all
crazy.
remember, Chad, do you remember that commercial, the To the Cloud commercial that Microsoft used to have? Do you remember this, John?
I do.
Where they're sitting in an airport and they have a laptop and they're like, flight's late or something. And they're like, and she's like, but we can watch a movie on the internet or something. To the cloud. That's not what the cloud is. All right. It's just the internet.
Validation summary. Yeah, I think it's.
Yeah, so we actually have to refresh here to get the new values. But now if we do foo, and then if we're out, then it does it on tab, which I'm not a huge fan of, right? Like here's the one thing that I would change, but I'm not going to, is that when you if the field is empty and you tab out, clear the validation message, right? Like this stays here until you get it right, which I don't like. But I'm not going to try to fix it right now.
All right.
So we have now finished this.
Now you've got a valid URL, and now you could do the next thing, which is submit to the next page or whatever, right?
Exactly. So, but I want to check this in.
Yeah, good call.
Small chunks. And actually, I've already done it. So I'm going to discard this stuff.
And we can look at you can merge the pull request.
Yeah, and I was trying to do invalid submit and do is invalid before I figured out that you can just change the class. So this stuff should already be checked in to the branch.
Yeah, your on invalid submit is now needs to get removed from edit form up at the top.
Yeah.
You get a few red angry things.
Squiggles. Yeah. So then.
Cool. Okay. Well, so I do feel like there's like a balance. Like it is nice that you can use your own custom JavaScript and you can handle things at the event level. And, there are some nice, I think that form editing is like a key value of Blazor. It's like something that probably a lot of people are going to be doing with it. And so they like win a little extra on specifically on form stuff.
Okay, I'm gonna create a PR here.
There already is one. There's already a PR on that.
Oh, there is?
There's a PR on that branch, and so you can just
test the add link binding.
Sure, yeah. Test the add link. Yep, that's me. And then you've done a lot more of the stuff on it since then.
This is totally merge worthy and super awesome. I'll be the judge of that. So save link response.
That was important because
this is the API. Oh no, I did do a bunch of stuff.
You did all the stuff. Honestly, I would commit all that because we actually did update it. We updated the API to point to the new Cosmos DB thing.
Yeah, that sounds right. So we'll just like
merge. It wasn't a very. It's like fine.
We're not very professional when it comes to source control around here, or just anything. All right, so now we have let's look at our issues.
There's a few things we could do. We could handle the like, okay, we've got a valid URL. What's the next thing? Do we save the link or do we, whatever, pop it over? We've
Pop
got
it over to
state
the
other one.
admin.
Another thing we could do is we have some stuff we want to do on the API because the API is using binding, and we decide we want to directly call the Cosmos client. So that was something I'd started on.
You feel good about that? You want to hop over there?
Honestly, it would be kind of
Dicey.
I wanted to work more on it, but I was like, we kind of need to merge this PR first because there were some API changes and stuff. So I could try it, but it's going to be a little like, oh, who knows what'll work.
Okay, well, we can work on the edit page. So now that we have a new link, we want to redirect to the edit page and pass the link.
Mm-hmm.
So for that, we need like a navigator or something, don't we?
You could ask the Mr. Copilot.
Yeah, I know. It's not great with Blazor, man. Let's try it though.
You could in that delete that console right line or you know what I mean, and make a comment there that says
oh yeah, just do it with the ghost text. That's probably easier. That's it. Navigation.
Yeah, and is that how you want to do it? You want to pass it using I think that works. I'm not sure. That is tricky because now you're passing edit should be the vanity URL, right?
Yeah, so this is where things get tricky. Let's talk about this. So first of all, let's fix this.
Yeah.
Oh, come on. vscode, you can fix this.
I think you have to, well.
Right?
You may need the namespace, whatever navigation manager is in.
No way. That can't be right. Page routing, focus on navigate, router not found, blah, 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 blah. Just show me how to
Inject navigation. This is it.
Yeah.
This is it. Yeah. I think this is it. You want to inject the service.
inject. Oh yeah.
So that is that I don't know if that's like a thing, and yeah. So that is definitely like a .NET Core, like all around the thing. You're injecting services that are created and wired up in Program Manager or in Program CS. And then yeah.
So now let's talk about the hard problem here, which is that in this chat, this is where I need you. Honestly, I need you everywhere, but I don't know how to solve this problem, John. Go ahead.
There's a few ways to go about this. One is you could pass as a query string. Like you could do question mark, a new ID equal new URL equals whatever. Like you could do something like that.
Passing as a query string is fine.
Yeah. And go ahead.
I was going to say the problem here is a routing problem that I don't know how Blazor can handle this. So we have to talk about the way that the application works and it routes requests. And the way that it does that is if you look at this URL up here, there's a /s. Mm-hmm. And the reason for that is because anything that's off the base, it assumes is a vanity URL and it will try to get that from the database. So what we did was we said S is reserved. And it's reserved for the site. And so if you do S, somebody actually did S, but anything after S, right, we intercept that. But for Blazor, I could not make this work. So for instance, in our public page /vanity URL, and then you would think edit would be /s/edit. But actually, this gets intercepted by this. Right? So if we go to our page and do /s/edit, did that work? I'm a liar.
Yeah, it seems to have worked there.
How did that? Yeah, so it does work. That's awesome.
Cool. Okay.
That was easy. For
Problem
some reason, it
solved.
wasn't working for me before, but that was too easy.
Huh. Okay. Because that's what you'd hope it would do, but
Also, your audio got garbled on me. What's up with that?
still.
Yeah, but I don't think it's your fault. It's not a showstopper. We'll keep going. Okay, so then here we need to start building out this page. And it looks like this.
Yep.
This component exists. This component does not. We haven't even made this yet. So let's jump over to GitHub and look at the front end repo. I don't have it open. I'm just gonna, come on. Yes, it is. I have to get orgs out of there.
Yeah.
So let's look at the pages. I think it's called views. Edit. And so the list details is this component here, which doesn't exist. We want the rest of this. So we have a container with main content. So let's just start banging this out here.
Yep.
I'm going to move this over. Also, I really like Windows window management.
It's gotten good now, right? Like,
yeah. And the fact that it's baked in, it's great.
It's cool too how it's up in the like right by the X thing. You can bring it up, and there's also a shortcut. It's like WinZ or something like that.
Yeah, it's everywhere. It's very nice. Okay. So let's just start writing some HTML here. So we need a container with these classes on it. And then inside of that, we want our new link component. So let's just look at that. Why?
Did
I make a root edit? Yes.
Always.
I did. I put an A.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's something.
Yeah. And of course, we get all the goodness.
Yeah. Because we got a component.
That's right. So the spacing is a little off here. I'm sorry. I have to fix this. It's that margin is too high. This is what comes from being a front-end developer.
Right.
You spend all your energy on things that do
like,
not matter.
I cannot write any code until this is aligned.
I can't deal with it.
It doesn't look like the Photoshop mock-up that I was sent.
Let's do font weight. So the input text.
Copilot could fix that.
I probably could, but I think I can fix it faster. Yes, I do. Why is there is no margin on the top of this? Why is there a space? Is that getting added by?
I think it's the thing above it. You can do the with the layout.
This size 2 is.
I do feel like the dev tools, it's harder for me to find stuff I'm looking for now. There's the layout thing to the right. where it says like styles, computed, layout.
It's here.
Yeah.
Why is it? Bulma is doing this. And what did I do here to stop that? Did I apply a special class? Margin 0, padding 0 on the P. I think I did this. Yeah, I took it off. So we can just do, we can add some CSS here. Or we could order pizza. Want to do that?
So what happened there? What is that? Is that
I think it just opens the Pizza Hut website.
Okay.
Just, you want to eat pizza.
Okay.
because we can. All right, that's why. It's because you can.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean you should. So we want to just take this, and we're just like, this is like a mini reset on the paragraph tag.
I do like that you can scope your CSS. Yep.
Do I have to do anything to make it pick up this Razor file, the CSS file, though?
No. Although I may need to maybe restart your .NET Watch. Oops. Sorry, I punched my microphone.
Why is it not picking that up? Yo.
Did you? So I think that you did restart your .NET Watch.
Yeah, I think maybe it's not. Specificity is not there. So.
Oh,
yeah,
you may need to give it more things.
Oh, it's because it's in a content paragraph, not last child. Is it because I'm using a different version of Bulma? It's not even in there. Container, it's in a div. That's why. So what we have to do here is we have to say,
yeah.
Actually, there's a better way to do this. We just do, what we can do. That should fix it.
Interesting.
Maybe.
Or you could set a class on the edit form if there isn't already.
Why? I don't understand why this is happening. Content. This is the offending rule, right? Like if we pull this off.
Mm-hmm.
But why is that happening? Where is that coming from?
It's on
content.
So just you could set it's .content, right? So go into your scope CSS thing, your new link Razor CSS, and do .content.
I could, but I don't want to override CSS rules that way. Although I did it already. I mean, we can just do this. Why doesn't scoped take precedence over? Do you even see the scoped rule in here?
I don't.
Yeah, it's right here.
Oh, okay.
No, this is also coming from Bulma. No,
yeah.
I do not see the scoped rule in here.
I wonder if you need to like hard refresh. You need to have, so here, we're already using, are we already using scope CSS?
Yeah.
So we shouldn't have to do extra setup.
Content. P, not last child. This isn't even, that's right. So container And any paragraph that's not the last child inside the container has a, like, I feel like we're using different versions of Bulma, and that's why this is happening. No, but I copied it over. I copied it straight over, but it's not happening here.
So are we sure we're seeing the scope CSS rule?
One second, John.
All right. Because I think we need to enable it. So you go into So in your CS isolation bundling. So this is in the, I think, there's a link href here. Wait, so you're checking out bundling?
Yeah, I'm just looking at the difference between the code that exists in this. Okay, but you're saying, so what do I need to do? Because it doesn't look like it's picking up the scope style here. And the scope style should take precedent over everything else, specificity-wise.
And I thought we had already done that because we have something main layout Razor CSS.
Right. It's working here. You know what? Not afraid.
I thought you'd already done that.
I don't think so. Maybe. Yeah, that fixed it.
Okay. Nice.
What? So it works here, but not here? What?
Is it named right?
Why is this happening?
Yeah, so can you check the head section of the page and make sure it's including that CSS file? Like in the browser tools. Check out head and see if we have the link to the CSS.
It's going to be in here. It's all bundled though, right?
Yeah. I can't really. Client.styles.css. Yeah. So that is the bundle. And then the file name of that CSS. New link.razor.css. I'm a bit at a loss. Well, you still have P. Is it supposed to be on P?
Yeah.
I thought you said it was a div.
It's a P. Oh, yeah, there it is. It's right there. Yeah. It's still being overridden by this. It's a
so I would, why not set it to a more specific thing, .content, .whatever,
yeah, right? So it would be, so we could do, we could do like this. Cool. I wonder if that'll get it specificity-wise.
Is that in the form though?
It is.
All right. Yeah.
It's still not content P last child, so there we go. That's the hackiest thing. I hate that. I want to figure out why that's happening. It shouldn't be happening, but we'll move on for now.
Yeah. Cool. Okay.
All right. So we have this, and now we need the
Oh my gosh.
list.
I feel like I'm playing Pong, bouncing us to all the corners.
Now we need to add the link to the list. So
And
if
yep.
so really, at this point we look a lot like the public page. So we can probably just go off of what the markup that we've got there,
Mm-hmm.
where we have this whole thing, I believe. Oh wow, we left some gross markup in there. Yeah. Oh, this is all the QR code, and so let's look back now. Yeah, that's not okay. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to back out of this. We're going to do this the hard way.
So that was the easy way up till now?
Yeah. Copy paste. Components, no. Views, edit view. Okay, so below that we have new link header. So we'll just pull in all these, all this.
All right.
More or less.
Yeah.
This is not right. It should have padding above it. We can fix that. But the binding, of course, is not true here. And also.
You're linkless with the drag and drop.
Yeah.
So yeah, so you were saying you really like your sortable or whatever JavaScript thing because it does like nice animations or something.
Right.
Because I'm wondering if there are ways to do like just modern browser drag and drop stuff.
I mean, it's so smooth. And the other thing is, like in this one here, it has a very specific drag and drop behavior. Where it constrains the drag and drop to the column, essentially. So you can't like just drag it off the screen, right? You can only go up or down.
Yeah.
Which I really like that.
I'm not sure that we can't do that within the component. Oh. Like, what else? I mean, all you need to be able to do is rearrange up and down, right?
Yes.
So when I looked, there were a few components for Blazor that did drag and drop, and I wonder if we could do that, and then if we could use that and either add to it or like put in fancy animations and stuff.
So like Blazor.
So I saw a few. There's this one that Chris Saney did, which is just code. And that's something where, then we could get into. There's also a NuGet package that looked pretty popular that did it.
There's also this post on Reddit, drag and drop nightmare.
Well, maybe don't use the nightmare one.
All right.
Scroll down and there's a NuGet package for this. So scroll, search for NuGet. Add NuGet to the end of the thing. So here's
is this the one? This is not the one?
That was the one I think I looked at. It has.
Let's look at the project website.
Curious to check this one out here.
demo. Yeah, this is the one I looked at too. Is this not using sortable? I mean,
No, it's not. It's just, this is using, so sortable is, when I looked at it, it's kind of just wrapping the drag and drop API. Like there is an HTML drag and drop API. So there's in the comments too, there's one, it's hard for me to click on it here. Do this. My chat stopped updating. There it is. Yeah, so I mean, yeah, so what did you think of doing using that
what is the component that I am using currently? This is like a ditch I'm going to end up dying in because I feel so strongly about the drag and drop behavior. Slick sort. So, yeah. Look at how good this looks, y'all, though. Look at this. To the docs. No. Show me a demo. No? Okay. Like, it's just, look at the animation and look at this. Right? So much better even than sortable.
Yeah.
If we go back, let me look at the repo. Take me to the repo.
Because I think all of these are, they're wrapping browser stuff, right? So they're either completely re-implementing drag and drop, or they're using the HTML standard drag and drop, and then putting animation effects on it and stuff.
Yeah.
So what I was looking at, somebody had sent something into. So there was the NuGet one. You didn't like the animation on that?
I don't like the animation on sortable.js. I don't like the animation on any of them except for the one that I'm using. But I don't know that that's even an option.
I mean, it is, but it's a question of how much extra you want to bite off to do. So on the project website, what does this one look like? I was looking away when you were on this.
It looks a lot like sortable, but it's quite a bit jumpier, right? So it's like see it flickering and.
So there is a control from Radzen. That's true. I don't know.
Yeah, and Radzen, I used to work with these guys. This is Atnas, used to be one of the dev leads at Telerik. This is his company. And I'm going to guess their drag and drop is pretty good. Do they have a drag and drop? Let's see.
Search up at the top for a find component. It's maybe under one of the other components.
Or it's a list. Drag and drop.
Yeah. So they're just doing a draggable component. But then you do get down to the animation bindings and stuff. Well, tell you what, we're at 11 now. So this feels like maybe a good place to stop, and then we can check more into this. And from people watching, like, leave us your comments. I want to check out this one from Smab.
Yeah. We'll look at this, and I think we probably should use a component for this. It looks like Rad's in. It was a blog post on how to like make your own.
Mm-hmm. But that is worth looking and seeing, like a list.
Okay.
Yeah, that's like a layout control, which I don't think we want. We want more of a data.
Man, they got so many.
I know.
Golly. And it's all free? How's that possible? Corcha, what are you doing here? Anyway, all right. Well, chat. I think that's it for today, though, right?
As we're good. Oh, did you push everything up to the GitHubs?
No, not yet. What do we do here? What should we call this? I'm still on the test add link branch.
Oh my gosh! I don't know how you didn't you delete that branch?
I don't know.
You
Let's just commit it and then make a new branch. So here,
hey, that's some solid progress. So we got the things set up. We have the new page kind of started. Yeah. I don't know if you can do this. You made a commit on a not branch.
yeah, because when you do that, it just creates another branch that's identical to the branch and then we just delete the other branch, right? Because it is merged.
Okay.
But it doesn't. It only deletes it locally. It's not fully merged. Yeah.
So your stuff is up on the GitHub then?
Should be, yeah.
I don't trust unless I see it.
Yeah, edit form.
Okay.
This one we can delete, right? Because we already merged it.
Yep. Cool. Okay. All right. Well, I think that's a pretty good list of stuff for today. So
yeah, we made it through. So my summation is I'm very happy with the Blazor with the forms. It really does save you a lot of manual labor. However, I'm gonna couch this in that if we had to do heavy duty form validation, it feels hard. Like if you have to get into the edit context and stuff.
It's very model focused, right? They work around, like, you define your model and your context or whatever, and then you like work within that framework.
Right. But in all fairness, John, even in Vue, validation of complex forms is a nightmare, right? There's packages specifically for this to help you validate because validation is so hard.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
All right.
Okay. Well, great stuff. Thanks everyone for watching. And I guess we'll be back next week and we'll do more stuff.
We'll do more stuff. Thanks, Chad.
Okay.
See ya.
Here it is.